Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Jonathan Gerstel from Jonathan Live, and in here in the studio today I have people from BdVibez. They're a company that started as a result of a tragic loss, but they're not letting that loss take them to a lower level. Instead, they're bringing about positivity and change and helping the people in the mental health community. And so, why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
So I'm Brian Derrickson, the owner of the company, and with us today we have
Ashley Fields.
And Billy Powell.
Awesome. So why don't you tell me a little bit about what brought about this company, how it started?
Yeah, so several years ago I'd always wanted to open up my own line of hats. For whatever reason, I've always had a passion for hats. There were two real catalysts that occurred in my life that prompted the start of BdVibez. The first being the tragic suicide of my best friend Richard Kraft. And that was 3 years ago. And each year on the date of his death, March 29th, I had done something to kind of commemorate and to honor his legacy. And so I got baptized the following year, started living a more cleaner life. And then the next year really looked at trying to get everybody back to his parents' house and who was close to him. And we all got together and just had a day for him. And then last fall, I went through my own battle with depression, and that's when I met Ashley, and that is what brought about BdVibez. We decided to really bring out the hats and have a focus on beating depression and giving back to the mental health community. And we were able to partner with College of Charleston, and once that partnership became kind of set in stone, we were all wheels down, and we started producing hats in June, and it's been incredibly inspiring and humbling as the community has really embraced us from then on.
That's awesome. It's a great cause, and I really appreciate all you're doing for the mental health community. You are partnering with a lot of different charities and people to help give resources to help people struggling with depression and such. What organizations are you partnered with?
Yeah, I think, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Ashley as being an integral part in a lot of these decisions and a lot of these key alliances. So I'll let her answer that one.
Well, I went to the College of Charleston, and I love giving back, and I was a peer leader here, and I helped students overcome their problems and get off of academic probation. So Brian and I both thought it was necessary that we could partner up with the College of Charleston, and they've been really great, and they've worked with us for every event that we've been through, and we actually just had an event at Republic where we raised around $3,000 for the counseling services here at the College of Charleston.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the College of Charleston was very important to both of us, because a statistic that a lot of people don't know is that it's the number 2 killer between the people aged 15 to 24. So, to try to capture as many people and have as much impact as possible was important to get into that age range.
Yeah. And if you haven't noticed, I'm wearing a pretty awesome hat thanks to these guys. And one cool part about their company is the awesome designs that they make. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you go about designing these hats and who's responsible for that?
So it's funny. It's just it's all about fun words on hats.
On trucker hats.
Yeah, on trucker hats.
Or flat bills.
Yeah, it's we originally had a list of 100 or so words, and we've just pared them down as to what we think are the most impactful. They're all fun words. They're mostly upbeat.
Words that people can relate to.
Right. So we have hats like salty, which can mean a lot of different things, whether it's an attitude or whether it's a salt water feeling. A lot of different meanings can be taken from these words. Cougs, obviously, for the College of Charleston Cougars, and Jaws, fresh.
We have some brain teasers like NaCl plus H2O. Salt water for those who don't know it, but it's a great conversation piece.
What are some of yours? What are some of your favorites, Billy?
If I had to choose some of my favorites, I would definitely say the Cougs, which just came out within like the last 2 or 3 weeks or so. Also, I really love the Chuck hats because Charleston it used to be called Chucktown for like King Charles, and it's just like people don't know about Chucktown unless you go to school here. And so we have them in all different colors, and I wear mine around all the time until like I sell them. But that's probably my top favorite one.
That's awesome. So now we're entering that like middle of the semester. A lot of people, maybe feeling overwhelmed and stressed and feeling down. Your company's all about positivity. What's one piece of advice that you can give to the students to stay positive during this stressful time?
I think Billy is best suited for that, as she is a freshman here, and I'll let her introduce herself, and she can probably elaborate as to how she's getting by.
Okay, so really one thing that helps me a lot, being only 2.5 hours away from home, even though that's not that far, I make it a point to talk to my family, and they encourage me every day to like succeed. Also, just like surrounding yourself with a great group of friends who can pick you up when you're having a bad day, or hey, I just failed my math test, I need to drop this class, and they're like, no, you can do it. I think the main piece of advice that I would give to anyone who's suffering in any way, shape, or form with any type of depression or just feeling down, that you just need a great base of friends to like surround yourself with, and just always tell yourself great things. Don't get down on yourself. That's another thing that's like, we sell hats for positive vibes, so like all of our words are just like little funny things. So if you look at them, you're like, oh, grass, why am I wearing a grass hat, and it's just funny because you think like, oh, that's because I want to eat well and like take care of myself. So it's just something to think about.
Yeah, and I think to piggyback on that, Frank Budd and Rachel McNamara here at the college, they run the counseling team, and we've all met with those individuals. So they have a team of 10 or so folks that are designed to be there should anyone have any any sort of challenge, and you can text them, you can call them. They have a response team, and I think it's just really important to know that there's always somebody there. Sometimes you can feel alone. I felt alone a lot of times, and I felt isolated, and I think the biggest thing is having and knowing that there's an avenue to to exercise some of those thoughts. Ashley, what do you think?
I think that, even as I was a college student, I struggle with like it being embarrassing if I ever felt down or depressed, but there's so many great resources at the College of Charleston that if you actually utilize them, they really help. And always your mind's a powerful thing, and if you keep positiveness in the front of your mind, it's pretty hard to be negative.
That's awesome. And so a lot of people have this like stigma when it comes to depression. Like if they're feeling down, they're like, keep it internal. They don't want to seek out help. And so you having battled that, how can you encourage students here that might not know about getting help or might not feel the strength to do it? What motivated you to be like, you know what, I need to get help because I need to be positive and move forward?
Yeah, it was a struggle. I think, I knew I was kind of not in the right mindset, and I had met with 2 counselors, and for me, they just didn't seem to help, and so I was really reluctant to go down to that counseling path. But I found someone who, for me, being a guy, it was important to have a guy counselor. So, that was just my personal preference. I think that, it could work either way, whether it's a male helping a female or a female helping a male. But generally speaking, for me, I felt more comfortable from having a male's perspective because I was dealing with a lot and juggling a lot. So I think the first thing is that to recognize that you do need help. If you do find a counselor and it doesn't work out or you're not getting anything from it, don't just put that stamp that like counseling doesn't work for me, because every counselor you're going to have a different experience with. It's just like a relationship, whether it's a friend or a significant other. It's the same thing, and you have to have that connection. And I would just encourage everybody that if you tried counseling, it didn't work the first time, try it again. And if you tried it again and it didn't work, keep trying, because there is that connection. And once you find that connection, it can have an overwhelmingly positive response. And that's what really was able to for me to turn the corner.
Thank you. We'll be posting links to resources here at the college with this video. So if you are struggling out there, we'll be providing you help to get the resources you need to move forward and stay positive. And if you want to help out this company, how can they reach your products? How can they support you? What do you have coming up that people can get involved with BdVibez?
Well, so we're fortunate to have Billy here as the local ambassador for the College of Charleston. She is the one that's really spearheading the effort to get the word and the brand out there and educate and spread mental health awareness. So I'm going to turn it over to Billy, and she can kind of elaborate as to how you can get in touch with BdVibez and some of the things we have going on.
Well, I post on Facebook all the time. I share things off of BdVibez' actual Facebook page. You can follow them, like them. There's always really fun pictures posted. There's always really fun events you can go to. Speaking of events, we do have one event on October 12th behind the library, where we're going to be creating visual for the College of Charleston students and faculty and anyone on the streets, just to see like the actual number of people that are touched by this horrible, horrible thing that we have to call depression and have to face. And we are just, like, statistically in the undergrad class, around 900 students are going to be influenced in some way, shape, or form. And so we're creating a visual with the hats in place of all these people. So that's one really great event that we want to invite everyone out to. Another really awesome thing is our brand, the BdVibez with a Z. If you just put a .com on the end, you can see everything that we have. We post very frequently on there. There's tanks, there's dry fit t-shirts, there's all kinds of hats for any kind of style. There's flat bills, trucker hats. And then, of course, like, I'm located on campus, so if there's ever anything that you want or you see and you don't know how to get it, like, anyone can reach out to me, and I'm always on my phone, like. So that's one way to have a business that way. So
awesome. And with that event on the 12th, the club on campus, Active Minds, is going to be involved with them. So that's another great resource to staying positive and battling mental health stigmas. So get involved, stay positive, and we appreciate you guys coming out today. And support BdVibez, guys. Thank you for listening.
Follow us on Instagram, BdVibez, and like us on Facebook, BdVibez. We appreciate all the support.
Thanks.
Thank you.